Thanks for hanging out with us. We have full coverage happening of the Bonnaroo Music Festival here in Manchester, Tennessee on the Spectrum. I'm Julia Cunningham, and we're here with one of our faves, Hozier. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know, we're super excited to have you, honestly, and also now as a returnee to Bonnaroo. I remember seeing your set back in 2015.
Yeah.
And also, and sort of just the joy that is Bonnaroo when you actually went out on stage with Mumford and Sons as well.
Yeah, that was a total trip. Yeah, and I think there was a lot of My Morning Jacket were on stage.
My Morning Jacket, I think Ed Helms was out there playing like the fiddle or something like that.
Danny Clinch was on harmonica.
You're like, what? Yes, but that's sort of like the joy of Bonnaroo. Had you heard about like what the experience of sort of just like the community that is Bonnaroo prior to that?
I hadn't, so that was new to me. So that was so fun. You know, that was super cool. Had such fun, and Mumford and Sons are so incredibly warm and so generous,
and giving,
open
and
armed. Yeah, oh my God. So we that was just a total party. You know, it was so much fun. And then D'Angelo and the Vanguard played at about 2 a.m. that night.
Yes, I went to that.
Were you there?
I was there. That's actually been my only late night of really doing Bonnaroo, and I'm like, I don't know. That's sort of the bar is set.
No,
Can I ever recreate that?
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
It was like a total funk scene.
Oh, it was. It was just. I was in space. It was amazing.
Yeah. Well, and for you, like obviously as a very active artist, you know, a lot of people sort of talk about like, oh, it was 5 years since we had a new record, but really you were active and busy and touring and doing other projects and an EP and all this sort of stuff leading up to that time. But does it feel like, oh, I am fully back, like the album is out, it's been out for just a few months, but you're back out on the road? Does it feel like a different energy now sort of under your belt?
It does, yeah. And releasing this, I mean, by the time I release it, it's the work has been sitting in my pockets kind of burning a hole for so long. So even now, a few months, I can't believe it's only a few months since we released it. I can't wait to get going again and kind of make new music.
Well, that's what I was reading. I read an interview that you did not that long ago that you were saying that yeah, you're like, of course, this is the project and this is what you're excited about, but like that you're already antsy to get back into that studio vibe.
Of course, yeah. I think part of that is like you fall in love with the feeling of creating stuff, and you know that's such a. I mean, playing is a whole different buzz, and sharing the music and playing to an audience is a super buzz, but there's a very unique buzz to actually just creating an idea. You fall in love with that a bit.
Are you sort of an atmosphere guy where it doesn't matter if you're out on the road? Would you maybe in your downtime now like end up writing something in between now and your set or something like that, or is that's not how you like to work?
Between now and the set would be a hard push.
A little harsh.
Would be a hard
harsh time frame. Yeah.
But on a day off, and if I can, I'd bring loads of gear to the room, and if you can, even just a few hours to even cultivate an idea, I find really helps. Yeah.
Are you the type that will also sometimes just even maybe work out some material live just to see how people react, how fans are, how you sound with it live, or do you like to sort of be insular with your making of music?
Very insular. I would love to do that, but I know that there would be.
I know that's a tough one.
There'd be a record of it online forever. So
that's true. Yeah, I know the damn internet ruins that. But fair enough. Now, are you sort of like? Even though you've only sort of just begun touring, really, and you've got touring through the rest of this year, so you can find Hozier, does it still feel like you're getting into the swing of what your sets are sounding like, or does it feel sort of, not in a bad way, sort of like you're into it, but like now you're used to sort of how these sets feel with the new material?
Yeah, definitely. I think you get to a point where you figure out a set and something that really works and seems to work as a kind of a 3-act system, or like it works as a good set, and then you kind of tire of that, and then you really want to rejig it, and you want to move it around and maybe introduce some new material to it. So I think we're at that point where we'll probably do make some changes, and then you have your bump, and then you kind of figure that out again. So. And that's really just to keep it fresh and keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think if you were doing a year of touring with the same set, you would.
It's going to drag you down.
Yeah, a little bit. So we're always, maybe moving it around here and there.
Keep it fresh. Well, we're super excited to be bringing your set live here on the Spectrum, and thank you so much for allowing us to play it.
Not at all. Thank you for playing it.
No, of
People
course.
People gotta hear it.
You gotta hear it, and of course the album, of course, is out now. It's called Wasteland Baby, and Hozier, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you.